So we were discussing that the body is a material unit and the self is a conscious unit, and body is gross, self is subtle. So body utilizes this, no, self utilizes this body as an instrument. And when the self is having right understanding and right knowledge about how to use this body in such a way that it will never fall sick and it will always stay healthy, then it can use this body to achieve the actual purpose of the self. So the conscious unit is self and the material unit is a body, and both of them are in coexistence always. So then there is the coexistence with the body is always there. There is an interaction between self and body, and this interaction in the form of exchange of information only. So always information exchange is taking place. There is no material transaction which is taking place between the self and the body. So with the help of the sense organs in the body, the self pays attention to and reads the body signals, processes these signals, interprets these signals, and always self gives instructions to the body: do this, do that, do this, do that. Whether the self is aware of what is right, what is wrong, or if the self is unaware of not having the right understanding, still the self always gives instructions and uses always the body like a tool instrument. But a self which is having a right understanding will use the body in a right way. So it is very important for us to understand that body is not controlling the self. Self is only controlling the body. Most of us say that my body is not allowing, my body doesn't like this, like that, something like that. No, body just gives information. It says, see, whatever you are eating, it is sweet in taste, sour in taste, hot in, hot, cold, something like that. Whether you like the sweet or you dislike sweet, that is all there in yourself, not in the body. Body just gives you information. After that, whatever you do with the information is all depending upon your preconditioning, your understanding, your assumptions, all those things. So, but this coexistence is there always between self and body. And there is self-organization, the self. Just like there is self-organization in the body always maintains that harmony inside. All the organs and organ systems, cells, each and every cell works in harmony with the other parts of the body. Similarly, self is also having this self-organization. Is someone should unmute their mic or something like that, or my problem with my side, I don't know. Okay, the self has a need for happiness, and this happiness should be continuous. This is something which is very deep, very deeply in UHV classes. So the need of the self is happiness, and this happiness comes from various feelings like respect, trust, affection, love, gratitude. So many things are there, and when there are right feelings within the self, then it leads to happiness. It leads to harmony in the self. If the right feeling is not there in the self, if there is always a wrong feeling, if the self is having negative feelings inside like opposition, anger, and it leads to unhappiness. And when there is unhappiness in the self, it leads to so many physical ailments directly, because self and body are always in coexistence. So it's very important for us to maintain the right feeling always in the self. So we need to understand that this right feeling, right understanding comes from continuous awareness. So this like am I only getting this disturbance, or is it audible to everyone?
No, yeah, the disturbance, a little disturbance is there. Maybe I'll just try to see if any of the mics are unmuted where the disturbance could come from.
Yeah.
But right now there is no disturbance here.
Oh, yeah. So there is this principle of coexistence with other human beings and nature. So there are other human beings, other organisms, and this nature, and always human being is in coexistence with other human beings. We have wonderful relationships around us, we interact with other people, we interact with other organisms. As I told you in the last class, we have more organisms than the number of cells we have in our own body. So, or
Where is this voice coming from? I really do not know. Yes, Bhaiya, there was some background voice.
yeah. So all mics are muted only. I don't know.
Yes, even I can see all the mics muted.
Okay.
Yet maybe some interconnectivity is
Something like that. The weather is not good here. I don't know.
Ma'am, if you can.
Yes, please. Yes, may I know who's speaking, please? G.
Good evening, I'm Murali Krishnan. If you can mute all the mics of the participants and only can open during Q&A, it would be easy. You will not be getting the disturbance.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry for the disturbance. So then we have this principle of coexistence with other beings, other organisms, and with the nature. So there's wonderful harmony inside our body with other organisms which are already present inside our body. They are all protecting this body. Billions of microorganisms which outnumber our own cells live in our own intestines, and they take little nourishment from the body, but they in return they give a lot to us. So there is already harmony between our body and the bodies of these microorganisms. Similarly, this harmony is also there between us and all other material and conscious units, all the units in the universe, not just other human beings, not just other animals, plants, even the material units like oxygen, water, sunlight. So continuously we are taking nourishment from all sources, and also we are giving back. It's not like we are not giving back. Only when we don't have the right understanding, we tend to disturb the harmony which is already there. So the nature itself is like, the wonderful way in which we exchange things, exchange energy, exchange information. All this coexistence which is already there has to be maintained. Unfortunately, we disturb the nature, we cause disturbance in various planes, and then we feel bad about depletion of the resources, and disturbance in the weather, and global warming, and lack of fertility in the soil, and so many other things, because we don't know how to maintain this coexistence, maintain this harmony which is there, and it's getting disturbed. Whenever we enter, then the disturbance is happening. In our hospital, we try to take an initiative. We thought, like many other people, we also thought we will not bring in any kind of plastic into the hospital in the form of any, whether we go to the shop or we purchase something, we only take paper bags or cloth bags, nothing else. We will not bring plastic inside our hospital, so we will not put outside or plastic outside. Similarly, we have removed all the chemicals normally which we use in our house. Like, we don't use floor cleaner, we don't use toothpaste, shampoo, soap, we don't use detergent, we don't use dishwasher, we don't use surf or rain to wash the clothes. So we have removed everything from this hospital. And when we have applied for this pollution board certification, they asked us for do you have a sewage treatment plant, do you treat the water which comes out of your hospital? We said we just direct the water to the agriculture, all the whatever we are doing the agriculture, we direct the water because the water is so good. We use herbal tooth powder, herbal bathing powder, and we use bioenzymes to clean the floor. We use bioenzymes to clean the bathrooms. We use bioenzymes to clean the dishes. And of course, these are some ideas. I'm just speaking about maintaining the harmony which is already there. All we have to do is we should not disturb. Sometimes we, because of lack of resources, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, we pump out so much of negative energy, negative chemicals into the universe, and they all get disturbed, and in turn it comes back to us. So when we understand that this harmony can be maintained, we can coexist with other human beings, other organisms, with nature, with universe. We will find ways in innovative directions, so that we will stay happy and healthy. We will also make others, we will also make this universe a safe place to live. So we need to understand this coexistence and harmony which is already there, which is already present. So, and there is this principle of free choice in self. So in interacting with other units in nature, the self is free to make a choice regarding its response. We always have a choice. Body is not having any choice. Body is absolutely not having any choice. If you give a good food, it will take it and nourish itself. It will give a bad and junk food, it will try to protect itself, and if it is not able to do it, it will give up, and it will get damaged, it will get degenerated, it will get fragile, and it will cells will die on their own. So this happens because body has no choice. It can't choose the right food and wrong food. Only the self is free to make a choice. Okay, so while body's response is definite, it is fixed, and the body does not have a choice. And response of the self can be decided by the self. So the self decides its response based on its acceptances, which are definite. When we look at when we are speaking about this fundamental health principles, these are universal. These are universal. Once you understand, once you know and understand and try to put them into practice, you will know that these principles are universal for every one of us. Our guidelines to practice them, the way we put them into practice, might change from person to person, place to place, time to time. But these principles are universal. Once you understand these principles, we have right choices to make. And once we choose the right things to do, we will be able to keep our body in harmony, ourselves in harmony, and also the universe in harmony. So it is very important to understand that we have the choice to stay healthy. We have the choice to keep our health in our own hands. We have the choice not to outsource health to hospitals or doctors. It is our choice. It is our right to stay healthy. It is our right to keep our own family healthy, our society healthy. And all we have to do is gain right knowledge, and with that right knowledge and right understanding, put them into practice daily. That itself will keep us always healthy, and that we can all together lay the foundation to a healthy society. Okay. So to sum it up again, the body is a material unit, self is a unit of consciousness, body is gross unit, and self is a subtle unit. Whether the self is aware of what is right or wrong, or whether the self is unaware of what is right or wrong, self is always a unit of consciousness. So it is our responsibility to become aware of what is right and what is wrong. So self is the central to human consciousness, human existence, and body is just a tool. But this is just a tool, and it is an instrument with which self can do wonders. So self will give instructions to the body continuously, and body follows all the instructions, and in turn body gives some kind of information back to the self, and self uses that information and thinks and takes the right decision or the wrong decision, and again gives instructions to the body. So body simply follows whatever instructions it gets from the self. So self is self-organized, body is also self-organized. There is harmony in body, harmony in self already by default. But if there is no right understanding and right feeling in the self, there can be disharmony, and this disharmony in the self will disturb the harmony which is already there in the body, leading to both physical and mental ailments. But if there is right understanding and right feeling in the self, and harmony in the self is maintained, it will use this body in a right way, it will nourish the body in right way, it will protect the body in right way, it will rightly utilize the body, and it will always keep it healthy. So we all being the self, being the master of the body, we have the capacity to choose the right response based on right understanding. But if we don't have right understanding, we may just take the wrong decisions, and whatever decision we take, body will oblige. It has no choice, it will oblige whatever we say. So it is very important for us to develop this right knowledge. So this entire thing is, in a nutshell, is our syllabus for holistic human health. So this yellow part is the understanding part, and the blue part is the application part. In this blue part, there are two parts again. One part is keeping the body and self in harmony, like how to keep this body and self in harmony. Once we understand the principles which are governing the body, we should understand, we should get the practical experience in keeping these body and self always in harmony without disturbing anything which is already there by default. All we have to do is put some simple practices, design our own practices, design our own lifestyle. So there is this nurturing part in which we do several activities to nurture our own body. Then there is this protection part in which we do several activities to protect our own body. So the other part is returning back to the harmony of health. Whenever there is a disturbance in the harmony, sometimes even when you are very careful, there will be some kind of disturbance which might cause some premonitory symptoms, some symptoms which come much before the actual manifestation of the disease. So these are called premonitory symptoms or purva rupas. When this happens, body instantly sends a signal to the self. It tells that something is happening in a wrong way, some disturbance is happening in this particular organ, this might lead to some kind of disease, you please take care of me. Body always sends these signals. But if we have this knowledge, if we know this art of communicating with our own body, we will easily understand these premonitory symptoms, and we will, just by doing some simple diet correction of the routine, doing some pranayam and breathing, and doing some simple things or home remedies, we will be able to restore that harmony without allowing the body to go to the stage where the actual manifestation of the disease happens. So it's very important for us to always understand, always communicate with our own body, always be aware of what body is trying to tell us, how it is trying to communicate us. So the entire essence of this holistic human health course is to teach you how to communicate with your own body, the art of interacting with our own body. If we know that, then we don't need any labs, any tests, any medicines. So we can always stay healthy. So this entire thing is about this practical knowledge. So let us just a moment. I will open today's PPT, and just a moment. Yeah. Yes, I'm really sorry for the sound. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So today's topic is understanding human constitution. So understanding human constitution is again a very important topic. So we actually brought it forward. It was like, it was there in not on the day two, but we thought once we understand our own constitution in a better way, we will be able to make simple adjustments in such a way that we will always stay healthy. So in our own age-old tradition, constitution, we call it prakriti. It is our nature, our body's nature. It's not just body. So mind body constitution. So okay, so this constitution in Ayurveda, in our traditional knowledge, they divide people into 7 different groups, 3 broad groups and some permutations and combinations. And if you take the modern psychology and modern medicine, they also divide the body into different categories: ectomorphs, mesomorphs, endomorphs, then sanguines, cholerics, phlegmatics, and then melancholies. So according to psychology, according to modern medicine, there are so many different classifications, and the classification is there to make us understand that we have different traits, we have different ways in which we react to different conditions, and no two things are same. When you look at, for example, if you are stuck in a traffic, and there are 3 people in the car who got stuck in the traffic and getting late for the airport. One person might get furious, very furious, very full of anger, and then they just burst out. They want to scream, they want to fight with anyone who is obstructing the traffic. And there is another person who is feeling a lot of anxiety, who is nervous, very nervous, and thinking 1,000 other possibilities what might happen if the flight, if he misses the flight, and he's so tense. And then there is another person who is just relaxing and enjoying the song which is coming from the FM of the car. So all 3 people with 3 different reactions to the same incident, and each person finds the other 2 people strange. How can he relax when there is so big trouble? Like that, other people, how can he become so irritated when we have to stay calm, particularly when we get stuck in the traffic jam? Each person will think about the other person in a different way. So we need to understand that there are different reactions to the same given context. So it depends upon the constitution of that particular person. So today I'll try to just show you how we have different constitutions. So like generally we ask the students, what is a mobile app you use a lot? What games and sports do you play more? What is your favorite food? In which weather do you feel comfortable? When we ask these questions, now even if I ask you people, there are around 32 participants right now, you will see that it differs from person to person. Some people like sweets, some people like something which is very spicy, some people like more oily, some people like very cold food, some people like hot food, some people like cold weather, some people they are very comfortable when the weather is very cold, and some people they are comfortable when it is warm, but they're definitely not comfortable when the weather is cold. Some people they are comfortable in the humid weather, some people are not. Some people like dance, some people like music, some people like singing. Some people like some kinds of games, and some people doesn't like the same. Even the mobile apps which we use, the kind of games we play, all these things differ according to our own constitution. And for some people, time management and planning is utmost important. But some people, it is like they just go with the flow without any time planning and all those things. So when you look at your own favorite actor, your favorite sports person, your friend, your hobby which you like, it depends upon your constitution. And we need to understand that they vary from person to person, and there is no constitution which is right constitution, and there is no constitution which is wrong constitution. So it's very important for us to understand individual constitution. If you look deeply inside the body and mind, you can say that there is an individuality as far as the biochemical functioning inside the body is concerned. So for me, a certain amount of sodium and potassium and magnesium and a certain amount of carbohydrates or glucose and a certain kind of blood pressure, all these things are normal to my body, which can be abnormal to another person, because I am different. We can't just standardize that 120/80 is standard for everyone as a BP, hypertension, and anything more than 120/80 is hypertension, anything less than 120/80 is hypertension. No, it is not like this. The thing is, uh, we I have, for example, I take my own blood pressure. Right from my childhood, my blood pressure was always 100/70 or 110/70 or sometimes even 90/60, and I don't feel weak. I don't feel how the people with hypotension feel. I don't feel. It is normal to my own constitution, and for some person it will be always 140/90, which is normal for him. My blood sugar levels, they might be above normal, but they are normal for my own body. So it is like we have our own biochemical individuality. Then physically we are all different. Some people are lean, some people are muscular, some people are a bit chubby, some people are fair, some people are dark, someone's skin is smooth, someone's skin is dry, rough. So physically we are all different. It's not like this thing is right, this thing is wrong. Anything, you can have any kind of trait in you. Physiologically we are all different. Some people, they feel a strong urge of hunger every time when the time of food time happens. Some people, they don't feel like hungry, but they can eat. And some people, sometimes they feel very strong hunger and sometimes absolutely no hunger at all. It differs from person to person. And emotionally, as I told you, we are all different. For example, there is a software company where the company wants to lay off some jobs, and suddenly employees came to know about this news that company is going to remove some jobs. Some people are going to become jobless. So people react in different ways. One person might become a leader who will try to gather people, and he wants to tell the management that if you lay off anyone's job, we will all will quit. Something like that. They put a revolution like thing, or they will make a speech, they will lead people. But there might be another person who is thinking about 1,000 things, very stressful, very nervous, anxious. He will think about 1,000 possibilities. What will happen if my job loses? Where should I try? Where should I apply? I should have recently, I should not have rejected that offer. Something like that. He will keep on thinking. And there can be another person who is just sitting in the restroom, taking rest or eating something because he can't handle that stress. So people react differently in different same contexts. So emotionally we are all different. Intellectually we are all different. There is a person who grasps anything very fast and forgets anything very fast. There might be another person who takes some time to grasp, but he will remember for a longer time. And there might be another person who will take eternity, long time to grasp, but once he grasps, he will never forget. So each person thinks the other two persons are idiots. No, it's not like that. It is our own individuality. We have, our own aptitude. Some person might like physics or mathematics. Some person might like arts. Some people might like social. Some people might like poetry. It doesn't mean that you are idiot or the other person is a genius, or you are genius and other person is an idiot. We are all individually different, intellectually different. So this concept of constitution is like psychophysiological constitution, which we say, or mind-body constitution. So we need to understand this concept of constitution so that we can understand ourselves better. We can understand our parents better. We can understand our kids better. We can understand our spouse better, so that we all can live in harmony, understanding our own strengths and weaknesses and understanding other strengths and weaknesses, so that we can become complementary with each other. We can all help each other, so that all of us can nourish each other's strengths and all of us can decrease each other's weaknesses. This is very important for us to understand. Then, so how exactly this difference happens in each one of us? So as we all know, there are these 5 elements, Pancha Mahabhutas, which we call, right? So Prithvi, Ap, Tejo, Vayu, Akasa, earth, water, fire, and the space and this air. So all these five elements, they are there out in the outside environment, and if you look deeper, they're also there inside our body. There is water, there is air, there is fire, there is space. So each element is governing some function in our body, and we need all the five elements in a balanced way inside our body. But this combination of these five elements can be different a bit from each person, and some particular element might be dominating in some particular person, which leads to certain personality traits which we'll try to understand. So these classical elements, earth, water, air, fire, ether, these are not just there in Indian knowledge. Even in countries, Greece culture, Persia, Babylonia, Japan, Tibet, all these countries had similar elements, which they think are the governing things, of the universe, and also the internal environment. So in Ayurveda, because we know, I am an Ayurveda doctor, I can just give you the perspective of Ayurveda. So when the dominating elements inside our body are air and ether, so Vayu and Akasha, then the dominating Prakriti will be Vata. Then if the dominating element inside our body is water and fire, then the dominating Prakriti will be Pitta. And if the dominating element is water and earth, then the dominating Prakriti will be Kapha. What is this Vata and Pitta and Kapha? I'll just try to give you a very simple idea about these things, and then later I will also give you about the permutations and combinations which we might get. So as I told you, there is this constitutional psychology, which is a theory developed by American psychologist William Herbert Sheldon in 1940s. They tried to look at people who are very thin and lean, they are called ectomorphs. People who are muscular, they are mesomorphs. People who are a bit chubby, they are endomorphs. And they have different temperaments according to their own constitutions. It was propounded in 1940, but long before that, maybe 5,000 years back, we have calculated people on the basis of the dominance of these bhutas. The person whose body is dominated by this air and space element, they are called vata type or ectomorphs. Fire and water, they are pitta type or mesomorphs, and earth and water type kapha, and they are called endomorphs. So as I've told you, the father of medicine, Hippocrates, he described 4 temperaments as a part of ancient medical concept of humorism. They was telling that there are sanguines, cholerics, phlegmatics, and melancholies. Phlegmins are the talkers. They want fun. They're cheerful, outgoing, fun-loving. They control others by their charm. Cholerics are the doers. They just do it. They are strong. They're goal-oriented. They control others by fear or threat or anger. And then we have the peaceful phlegmatics. They just watch. They want to keep the peace. They're relaxed, adaptable, flexible, controlled by, and they control others by procrastination. They just postpone things. And then they have this melancholies. They are the thinkers. And if it is worth doing, do it right. They want to do it in a right way, perfect way. They are obsessed about perfectionism. They want everything in a detailed, neat, organized way. And of course, they are reserved. They control others by threat of mood. So this is what Hippocrates was classifying people's minds into. So let us see what Ayurveda has to tell about this particular thing. So as I was telling you, there is air space dominance in people who are Vata type. And when you look at Vata people, they have this light and thin build, light bones, light muscles, less fat, and their skin is cold and dry. Their activity is very quick. They walk fast, they speak fast, and their digestion is usually irregular. Sometimes very strong hunger, sometimes very weak hunger, and they don't gain weight. Even if they gain weight, maybe only at the waist region, but overall body is frame. And their sleep is light and very interrupted. Just if you touch them, they wake up instantly, as if they have never slept. But they are vivacious, they are imaginative, they are creative, they are spontaneous. They love change. They want to entertain others. They're extremely enthusiastic. They become the center stage. They are quick to grasp, but quick to forget. This is very important aspect of Vata people. They are very quick to grasp, but they are also very quick to forget. They love this excitability. They love this constant change, and their energy comes in bursts. They are like, sometimes they become so energetic. They want to do so many great things. Suddenly they become weak. They are like small kids. Kids like they play, and they sleep and eat, and they play, eat, sleep, play, eat, sleep, like this. If they do that, that will be okay. Otherwise, if they continuously work, they can't sustain that energy, because this energy comes in bursts. And because it is dominated by air element is there, so air moves continuously. So movement is characteristic both in their mind and in their body. So their mind is always mobile, active, with so many thoughts in their brain, and their body is also always active. You can see people who just can't sit in one place. They just move like this, like that, while they're speaking on the phone. If you forcefully make them sit in one chair, some part of their body will be moving, either their leg or hand, or some part will be continuously moving. So they display bursts of emotions, short-lived bursts of emotions, and suddenly they become so lovable, but immediately they might even forget. They are sensitive, but they easily forget these feelings. So this is the natural phenomenon which happens in their Vata mind and body, and it is natural. There is nothing wrong or right. Okay. And when you look at the other kind of personality, other constitution, it is called Pitta constitution, or fire water type. Fire and water, when you boil water on fire, what happens? Steam. It's so strong, so hot. People with this fire water type of body nature, Pitta body type, they have this moderate build. They are not very lean and thin like Vata people, but they are having much moderate build. And normally, because of this fire which is there inside the body, which burns away the hair, sometimes the hair becomes very early graying is seen, early balding is seen, or at least the fire burns away the color. It becomes copper or brown in color, not pitch black. And they have this tendency to have freckles on the skin, and sometimes they break out into acne. They have ravenous hunger and thirst, and very strong digestion. And they have, because the fire is there, the digestive fire is very strong in them. And they have more strength and endurance than the Vata people. Vata people have, like as I told you, the energy comes in bursts, but the Pitta people energy can sustain the energy for longer durations. It's not like they need rest often, whereas Vata people, they need regular intervals of rest. And when you look at the gait of Vata people, they are just floating in the air. But when you look at the Pitta people's walk, they have a definite confidence in their walk. They have a heroic walk, very determined stride to their walk. And then they are enterprising people. They like challenges, and they have, as I told you, there is this fire. They have this sharp intellect. This fire is there in the brain. The fiery mind is there. And the memory is much longer than Vata people. They have moderate memory, longer memory, and they want to live by their watch. Everything should be planned. It should be done in a perfect way. For example, if they go to a new place and they just want to look at the have some sightseeing, they go to the lodge, then they pick up some brochure and make a note of all the important places they want to visit, and they make a timetable, and then they pick one, and then they'll see, oh, this museum opens at 10, and they'll check the Google Maps. It will take 1 hour for me to reach there. So I should start at 9. If I should start at 9, by 8:30, I should complete the breakfast, which means I should go to the hotel by, hotel lobby by 8, which means I should take bath by 7:30, which means I should complete my exercise start by exercise at 6, which means I should get up at 5:30 or 5, like that. Everything is planned to the detail, to the basic, bare bones. They want to plan everything, and they want to do everything according to the plan. They live by their watch. They are perfectionists. Sometimes they wake up at night feeling hot and thirsty because of the excess heat inside their own body, and they take command of situations. Whenever the situation goes out of the hand, they are the people who just go and control others and control the chaos, and they are decisive. They have this good sense of judgment. They have this critical thinking. They are articulate. They can't be followers. They are always leaders. If you have a pitta prakriti, if you have an abusive boss, you can never continue in the job, even if it pays you lakhs and lakhs every month. You will be comfortable keeping a small shop, but not the place where you get dominated by someone else. They want to be leaders. They want to lead others, not to be led by others. That is the kind of nature of pitta people. Then we have this earth water type, is kapha. When you mix earth and water, it becomes mud, it becomes solid, it becomes good. Actually, it gives strength, but sometimes it can be a problem, which we will discuss later. But the basic essential nature of this kapha, because it is heavy, the people have heavy build, unlike vata, which is very light, and pitta, which is moderate. Kapha people are heavy in build quality. They gain weight very easily, and it becomes very difficult for them to lose weight. Their physical strength and endurance is very much more than what we have. For example, as I told you, vata people are like racing cars. How is the racing car? As I told you, they have this bursts of energy, lots and lots of energy. The racing car, how does it go? Vroom, 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 like that. It's very fast, lots of energy, and suddenly it stops at the pit stop. Every nut and bolt which become loose, it should be tightened, and then it should be given enough fuel and rest so that it again goes back, vroom, vroom, like that. So vata people are like that. They have bursts of energy. Whereas when it comes to pitta, vata people regularly, they need moments of time when they take rest. Whereas pitta is more like an SUV, which is strong, not as strong as a Lamborghini, but definitely strong, and it can endure a lot of abuses, and it can endure for a longer duration. It's like they have moderate strength and moderate endurance. But when you take the kapha people, they are like this diesel gadi. It's not as quick and as strong as vata and pitta types. They don't have that much energy, but whatever energy they have lot of endurance, lot of mileage, lot of they can take how much ever load you give, they can take and carry the load, and slowly they can chug along, never ever needing any rest. So kapha people, they have enough endurance in them. Okay. So that is kapha. So they have physical strength and endurance, which is much more than vata and pitta people. Their bones and muscles are heavy, soft, and firm. They have steady energy. When they walk, they are as if they're gliding. They are smoothly gliding. Their walk is so beautiful to look at. They're slow and graceful in action. They don't hurry like vata people. They run here, there, like this. Kapha people, they hold on to things. They don't want to give away their old positions and all those things. They hold on to things. They hold on to the fluids inside our body. They hold on to fat. They hold on to relationships. They just can't make new relations. They hold on to, once you are a friend for a lifetime. So they can't easily change friends. They can't easily change relations. They are like very good at holding on to things and relationships. They are slow to grasp, but they have a very retentive memory. My wife, she is a kapha person. When she was preparing for her MSc psychology exams, I was trying to help her because I already completed these exams. So I was just teaching her, and she was like not grasping so fast. And I felt like, what? I can grasp and remember so fast, and she's not just remembering. I should cover so much of chapters, but she's just slow. And now, after so many years, if We go back to the same subject. She remembers everything, and I remember nothing. So they are slow to grasp, but these are the people who carry that knowledge. They are the people who carry the knowledge from generation to generation. Okay, and they have a heavy, prolonged sleep. So, like they are dead like a log. Even if you want to wake up, it is very difficult for them to wake up. So they have very deep sleep. And of course, as I told you, they gain weight easily. So they have this tendency to obesity. Their digestion is slow. Their hunger is mild. They are affectionate, lot of affection, lot of tolerance. They are a lot of forgiving. They don't judge people. They accept people as they are. They are very affectionate. They have this tranquil and relaxed personality. If you have some friend like this, you would like to be with them because they listen, they give time, they are compassionate, they are affectionate. You want to be with such people. Particularly if you are a Vata person, you definitely like a Kapha friend who will just be there always whenever you need them. They don't get anger very fast. They're slow to get anger, and even they get anger, they will not show outside. Maybe they'll suppress it inside. They will not show the anger or worry. But when they get stressed out, they become more complacent, more possessive, and they are happy with things as they are. They doesn't want to change too much. For example, if you make a plan for a movie, and while you are going to the movie, suddenly your Vata friend suggests, see, I just read the movie's review, and the movie's review is not so good. Why should we go to the bad movie? Let's go to the beach. Let's go to somewhere else. Because they like change. The Vata people, they like change. But Kapha people, they don't like this change. They say, like, if you make a program for movie, we should go to the movie only. Why should we change in between on the way that too? Like that, they don't want change. Of course, they respect other people's feelings. They show genuine empathy, and they seek emotional comfort in eating. Whenever they want to be happy, they eat a lot. Okay, so these are the traits which we observe in people when the basic constitution is in balance. These are all the good things when we see these people in a balanced state. Whenever there is imbalance, there are so much of disturbance. When there is an imbalance in Vata, there is air is spinning. Air spins like anything. Lots and lots of movement will be there. Lots and lots of stress, anxiety, when there is physical strain, when they eat cold food, raw food, when they eat iced beverages, when they skip meals, when there is late sleep, frequent trips, there's a lot of grief and fear. This air and space, they get disturbed, and the air becomes so violent, and they become worried, anxious. The mind becomes overactive, impatient. The mind focus is not there in one particular thing. They think about 1,000 things at one particular time. The Vata people, they become depressed. Their attention span becomes very less. I look at many patients who just don't listen to my question. They always have some things in their mind, and they never listen to what I am telling to them. So they do have very less and short attention span when their mind is disturbed, when their Vata is in imbalance. Their mind spins and spins, and it becomes like a torpedo. They become forgetful, they become fearful, and then they have this lack of sleep. They become very restless and weak and tired, and they are not able to relax. Their appetite is less. They become impulsive. They become unreliable. If you give them many tasks, that we don't know whether they will do this task or not, and suddenly they become overexert themselves. They don't take enough rest, and that vitiates the Vata more. And what are the reasons for this vitiation? As I told you, a lot of stress, a lot of physical activity, cold food, raw food, iced beverages, skipping meals, late sleep, frequent trips, lot of grief and fear. All these things will cause these disturbances in their body. There is constipation, dryness becomes more, and because of this dryness, the intestinal movement will not be there. The bowel movement will be less, and they become constipated. Lots of intestinal gas will be produced. Skin becomes dry or rough. Stamina will be very low, less energy. BP will become very high, and they might get back pain, menstrual cramps, premenstrual syndrome, dysmenorrhea like that. And there is irritable bowel syndrome. Immediately after eating, they'll get loose motions, and they can't tolerate this cold wind. They have this chills and shakiness in the body, aching joints, arthritic joints, inflammatory joints. They lose weight. They have acute sharp pain. They have muscle spasms. The head becomes lightheaded and spacey. All these things happen when vata is disturbed. So the mind also gets disturbed. Body also gets disturbed. Similarly, when there is a disturbance in pitta, what are the causes for the disturbance of pitta people? When these pitta people already they want to be perfectionists and they are under stress, they suppress their anger, frustration, resentment, and they themselves put excessive demands on themselves, and their boss and other people have more demands on them. There is constant pressure from deadlines. They're worried about wasting time, and they consume more hot, spicy food because already there is fire inside their body, and they consume more food which improves more, increases the fire inside the body. Hot, spicy food, oily food, and food with lots of salt, fermented items like cheese, vinegar, sour cream, alcohol. Hot and humid weather also increases this heat inside the body, and fatigue and sunburns. All these things will increase the pitta, increase the fire inside their body. And as I told you, fire and water, when they get vitiated, water gets heated, overheated, it becomes steam. And steam is so hot, we can't tolerate this hotness. I've told you, their brain is very sharp and their intellect is very sharp. This sharp brain sometimes becomes sharp tongue. So they speak in such a way that other people will get hurt like anything. They hurt people. They want to become overachiever. They become overly competitive. Anger, hostility, irritability, impatience, resentment, and they wake up frustrated and irritated every day. Why is my life like this? Why is like this? Why did I miss the alarm? Always frustrated. When the pitta is in an imbalance. Okay, and when this imbalance is there, there is outbursts of temper. They become argumentative. Sometimes they take revenge. They can't even tolerate other people even overtaking them on the road. They're so become so competitive. If someone delays something, they become intolerant. And they, as I told you, their sense of judgment, their critical thinking is great. But when the pitta is in imbalance, they become judgmental. They judge themselves, they judge people, they constantly judge others, they criticize others, they criticize themselves because they want to have too much of perfectionism. This too much of perfectionism kills them. And physically also, they have this excess heat inside the body, causes skin inflammations, boils, hot flushes, acne, excessive hunger or thirst, bad breath, heartburn, ulcers, sore body odor, hot flushes, acid stomach, rectal burning everywhere, anywhere in the body you get burning. That is because of the excess pitta, excess fire, hemorrhoids, piles, Crohn's disease, any itis is inflammation, anywhere inflammation, whether it is arthritis or colonitis or anywhere itis is there, anywhere it is because of the pitta imbalance. Then what causes disturbance in the kapha people? Diabetes, obesity, allergies, all these things may increase the kapha inside the body. If they gain lots and lots of weight and they are very much depressed about it, it further increases the kapha, further makes the kapha in a sensitive, in a imbalanced state. Diet containing lots of sugar, salt, fat, fried food, heavy food, dairy products, cheese, milk, ice cream, all these things will disturb the kapha. Stressed, and they react to it by withdrawing or feeling insecure or unwanted. They don't want to meet others. They want to stay in the room. They become depressed. And this more and more they stay alone, the more and more the kapha gets vitiated, and more they have more similar symptoms. And there is excessive emphasis on possessing, storing, and saving things. So they don't want to give up anything, even if things in the dustbin also they pick up and put it back into the almirah. So they don't want to give up anything from the house. They don't want to give up the fat, fluid, everything. They become over weight. and their house is like mess. Whole house becomes mess. They don't want to keep them organized. They become dependent on other people, or they become overprotective of other people. They sleep late for more than few days. That disturbs the this thing. Cold and damp weather, snowy weather, winter, spring weather, depressed weather, all these things will further disturb the kapha people. And because of this, they become dull. The mental inertia increases. They become lazy, depressed, the stupor, always trying to sleep, over attachment to people. They can't just let go people. They can't just let go things. They become depressed, worried, stuck in their thoughts, stuck in their actions. They just can't move at all, and they procrastinate things. And they can't, they just don't want to change anything. They want everything to be like this. They become sometimes greedy. They oversleep, and their movements become much slower, and they crave for creamy, sweet, heavy dairy foods, and they hold on to fluids, they hold on to fats positions. They are dull and lethargic, and the body is cluttered, and the surroundings are cluttered. The house is cluttered, their almirah is cluttered, their bag is cluttered, everything is cluttered. So these are the things which you look at. And physically in the body, there is intolerance to cold and damp weather. They have the sinus congestions. They have this running nose or blocked nose. They have this fluid retention in tissues, anywhere swelling, edema, fluid accumulation, bloating of stomach, chest congestion, filling. The lungs get filled with mucus and cough, and skin becomes pale, loose and aching joints, high cholesterol, heaviness, weight gain, allergies, asthma, cysts. All these things happen because this kapha is vitiated in their body. So now we need to understand what we should do to bring this vata, pitta, and kapha, all the 5 elements, to balance, so that these symptoms can be, these problems can be relieved, both physical and mental. So sorry to take more time. It's already 8:34. So let's discuss the solutions in the next session. It will motivate us to come back to this Friday refresher workshop. So Manisha Didi.